Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast Radio.
Well, Gonzales Racing is in the national final of the F1 Schools competition, and two members from the team, transition year students in Gorey Community School, Tiernan O'Doherty and Billy Trafford, join me now to discuss the STEM-based competition. Tiernan, maybe you could start the interview by providing us with an insight into the competition.
Well, F1 in Schools is a STEM competition in which teams of 3 and 6 are tasked with building a miniature F1 car that's about 1 to 20 scale of a real F1 car that will race down a 20-metre track. But we also have to create a brand awareness and get sponsorship and provide return on investment to the sponsors. And that is a huge part of the judging process. So it's me, Tiernan O'Doherty, Billy Trafford, Sean Doyle, Marcus Wallace and Keane Waters are taking part.
So Tiernan, what appealed to you about this particular competition as a group? Have you all got an interest in F1?
I think what really works for us as a team is we're a really mixed bag of people. For example, there's 2 parts in the competition. So it's the engineering side and also the marketing side. So for example, Billy is very good with graphics and marketing, so is Sean Doyle, while Marcus and Keane are very good on engineering side. So I think everyone has a bit of an interest in F1 Schools, but we're all quite ambitious and competitive. So that's why we really looked forward to the competition.
So talk us through what was involved in the design of the car itself.
So our design engineer, Keane Waters, has to get a CAD software, which is computer-aided design, in which he designs the car to fit inside the regulations of the competition. But he then also works to make the car as aerodynamic as possible. So he uses testing analysis in the computer to test for the drag coefficients, the velocity cut lines, and a wide variety. And from that, he designs a car in which we send it off and it gets CNC manufactured from a block, and the wings are printed onto it, and we put on the wheels and we send it off to race.
So how much competition are you expecting?
Well, this has been the largest national finals ever. I think over 60 teams are competing all across Ireland. And it's going to be a really exciting competition because Ireland's got a really good track record for the national finals, because the top 4 national final overall placers get the opportunity to go to the world finals of F1 Schools. That's
a fantastic opportunity. Now, Billy, I want to talk to yourself next, because you're playing a very integral role in relation to this project. You're over the website design and all things digital. So tell us about the work that you've been doing to date, getting all of that ready for the guys to go out and get sponsors on it.
Yeah, so my task was to build the website. So I had no website experience before I got into this. So it was mostly YouTube and Googling things along the way, but it definitely learned so much from this. So it started off as just going to be an information page, and our ambitions kind of grew as we got into the project. So as we kind of built up sponsorship in the website, it's been a hub for our team and our brand. So like the purpose of all the things surrounding the website's kind of in the middle, and everything directs to the website. So we show off our sponsors, our car, our team, galleries, our competitions, like everything to do with our team is on our website. So that's the big push, was to get everyone to the website. But designing the website, we started from scratch. So we use Wix Pro to design it, which is just a fairly basic website software. And we kind of knuckled down on that and just kept going and going. And then eventually we settled on a single page design for our website.
And Billy, what does your overall digital marketing strategy comprise of?
Our strategy would be to push all our social media to our website. So our brands, our sponsors will be published on our social media. Then along with that, we have lots of posts about our website. So people see our sponsors and see our website. We have a lot of, when we look at our analytics, we can tell a lot of where the people who went to the website came from. So it could be quite a high proportion from Facebook and Instagram. So we look at them analytics, and then we decide where we're going to put more material into. So we put a lot of material into Facebook and Instagram, and we get a lot of people directed over to the website where we can provide a good ROI for our sponsors.
What were the costs involved in bringing this project to fruition?
So when we had to design our car, we had to look at mainly giving return on investment to sponsors, as well as funding the production of our car and the website development. So we've got to make uniforms, we had to make a banner, we had to make merchandise for our website, but then we also had to put money into the making of our car. So we had to get the blocks that needed, 3D printing, the finishing coats, the paints, and lots of different additives, you could say, to the car that needed to be taken into account.
And Tiernan, talk to me about the STEM element of this, of course, the engineering finesse that's behind the car itself. What's involved in that, and where did you get the inspiration and assistance for that element of it?
Well, designing the car, you can't really promote the car without a designed car. So we had to speak to lots of different people. We went to Naylor Engineering. John Naylor helped us hugely in the design of our car. We looked at lots of different videos. We spoke to previous F1 schools competitors. We also spoke to an F1 school, someone who works on an F1 school's actual F1 team, or F1 team, not an F1 schools team. And we also just had to take into account our own research. So we looked at our own aerodynamics, and then inspired by other cars like the Ferrari and Red Bull car, we designed our own.
In order to finance this competition, you've had to go out there and raise money through sponsorship. What has been your approach to that, and how successful has it been?
When designing our approach to sponsors, we really wanted to keep our sponsorship in the local area. So when we were designing our marketing strategy, we knew we could give the best return on investment to the local community, and as such, we got sponsorship from the local community. So we also made a tiered approach, a gold, silver, bronze tier, in which different tiers would give different amounts of funding and get different amounts of return on investment. So Altura Credit Union came on as our gold sponsor, and they've helped hugely both financially and giving us advice and mentoring throughout the process. So they've been a huge help. Tom Brennan was their marketing advisor and head of marketing. So he came on board and he's given us lots of advice in the developing of our Gonzales Racing brand. And we also got lots of funding from silver sponsors around Gorey, which you can see on our website, which have been a huge help, and they've all came on board and really helped us.
And you mentioned the term return on investment. How important was that when you were out pitching for funding?
Well, it's a huge part of the competition as well as getting sponsorship. The competition judges not just how much sponsorship you get, but how worthwhile their investment is. So we can't just get our sponsorship and leave it at that. We needed to work to keep sponsors on board and excited about this project, just like we are. So we promoted them on our social media, their website. We had trouble with marketing activities because of obviously COVID, but we worked around that. We had an online Zoom launch in which we got family, friends, supporters, our sponsors on to unveil our car and the release of our website. So all of this helped to really promote our sponsors, and they all helped hugely. We went around, filmed the videos with our sponsors, and we're constantly working to make sure that our sponsors were as happy with their investments as we were.
And for those that want to continue to support Gonzales Racing, what's the website address that they can go to?
So the website address is www.gonzalesracing.net, and Gonzales is spelled Gonzales. And if you can go to gonzalesracing.net and you can join our team button, it helps us hugely in the competition to show the amount of community support we have behind us.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Tiernan O'Doherty and Billy Trafford from Gonzales Racing, and I'm sure that Business Matters listeners will support the team as they gear up for the final stages of the competition.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast